So in my last video about building the Tamiya Rising Fighter, I did say that I was going to be making another video about this, and well, here it is. So this is the transmitter that I will be using for the Rising Fighter, which is the Tamiya Rising P32. Now, there was a particular reason why I ended up buying this transmitter, and you will see why I've ended up buying this transmitter once you've seen the inside of the box. But yes. Fucking Jesus Christ. So anyway, as I was saying, this is the Tamiya Rising P32, which is a 4-channel pistol grip transmitter with a receiver included. And I will admit, the box is a lot smaller than I actually thought it would be. I did look up the dimensions of the transmitter. It did look a little bit small, but I wasn't expecting the box for it to come in to be this small. I think without further ado, I can't wait to get this thing open and show off the transmitter itself. So let's just get straight to the unboxing. Okay, so first of all, sorry for the table being a little bit of a mess. That's none of my doing and is all beyond my control. And secondly, you may notice on the box that there's also P30 and P31. Now those two are actually 3-channel transmitters. However, the one I've got, which is the P32, is a 4-channel transmitter, which is the one I ended up going. It does come with a receiver. Now it does say on the box, you got either the RX41 or the RX49. Sorry, that wasn't quite in shot. Let me try that again. So yeah, RX41 and RX49. So more technical details there. I'm not 100% sure which receiver it comes with, so just flip it round. Recommend pausing to read as well. So we've got some more details on the box as I'm about to run. There's your colour options there, and also a tick on the box to indicate which model of the transmitter I've got and which colour I've got. Not much on the box other than New Stone Technology Co Limited. Guessing that's the company behind Tamiya Racing. And I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can get a shot. Yep, there we go, that's better. And the alignment isn't quite good because of the way the screen is on the camera. Anyway, now there was a bit of tape on the side there, but I pre-cut that off just to check inside. Anyway, so instruction manual here. And given the fact that I bought this for the Rising Fighter, you can kind of see why I ended up going with this transmitter because of the colour of it. Oops, knock that over. So peel this back. And the transmitter comes in 2 parts. So we have the grip here, which is where our batteries will go in there. And here we have the top of the transmitter, so we've got our steering there and the acceleration and reverse right there. So just going to slide that on so you can see how it looks. Oops, I'll zoom in a little bit out, sorry. So there we have it. Amazing, it's actually really nice to hold, and it doesn't feel as small as I actually thought it would. It's actually quite a nice and compact size. And yep, I'm really happy with that. So just give it a few, got our screen there and some additional controls on our power switch there. Just put that in the box for now. And inside, let's see what receiver we've got. We have got a, actually I don't think it says what, so we do have a 4-channel receiver there. Doesn't quite say which model number it is. Is it an RX41? Is it an RX something or other? I'm not 100% sure what model receiver this is, but we do at least have a receiver and we have our transmitter. So what I'm going to do is get some batteries in the transmitter, and then what I'm going to do is get the receiver hooked up into the Rising Fighter. Okay, so while I've actually found some batteries for the transmitter, I thought I'd do a demonstration of how you actually put them in, because it's actually way different than other transmitters that I've owned. So you've got this black compartment here, and you have a tab right there. So just pull that off, and you probably can't see it very well because of you can just about make it out there. But that is where, obviously, our batteries go in, and you've got a sticker guide just in there to show how the batteries go in and which way around they go. But I'll just do them on camera anyway, so you kind of get the gist, the idea of it. So found some AAAs, and there's one thing I forgot to mention actually. This takes AAAs and not AA's. So I've got JCB AA's from JCB of all people. Other brands are available. So put them in like twice, like that. And then in the other one with positive facing downwards. And then once we've done that, just slide that back on. And we have our batteries in the grip of the transmitter. So we'll get the second half, and that should just slide on like that. And even with batteries in, it's still surprisingly light. So time to power this thing on. So we've got our on switch there. Oh, actually quite nice. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that a lot better. So LED screen, LCD, sorry, which lights up with, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm very, very rusty because I have only literally just recovered from COVID, so it might explain why this video isn't as good as I could have made it, or as good as it normally would be. But anyway, it would also explain why I've been sniffling a little bit during the video. But we have an LCD LED backlit screen on the top there, which gives, so we're currently running on 6.2 volts, and this does also have a low voltage and a low power supply alert as well, which is handy to have. So we've got steering trims there. I'll need to just take a look at the instructions to explain what these four do as well, but we have got our channel 3 there as well. And what I'm going to do next is I've got the receiver, and I'm going to stick that in the Rising Fighter. Alright, so here is the Tamiya Rising Fighter, which I built in my previous video, and as you can see, I think it should be self-explanatory as to why I picked this particular colour to go with this particular car. But yeah, and also I'm a little bit colour biased, so it had to be blue. So I've already unscrewed the body shell off. Now inside you can see the FlySky FS2 receiver, which I previously used in the other video because I didn't have a spare receiver or spare radio gear for this. And yeah, so with this no longer needed, just going to take it out, and the mammoth tape has held on pretty well. It did peel off a little bit. I'll just get that one out of the way. So got to be careful not to get the two muddled up. So take off the steering servo first, because that will go into channel 1 like that, and then take off the ESC from the FS2A because that will go into channel 2, and just plug it in like that. Yep. So there we have it. So fixing it on, I'm just using something called mammoth tape, which I did mention in the previous Rising Fighter video, but it's basically just tape used to hold carpets down, and it's really, really good tape. So I want to have it facing like this way, because what I'm planning to do with this receiver is it extends the receiver wire to make better use of the antenna. I'll just pan it up just a little bit, but I just put the antenna on the car anyway because I just wanted it just for show only. However, I am thinking about extending the, like unsoldering this wire and then putting on some new wire. But at the moment I just want to test it out as it is, like in terms of range, so put this aside because I don't need it. So with that in, I'll find a battery pack and just give it a little bit of a test before I screw the body back on. Okay, so with the receiver fixed in place in the car, I've got a NIM battery pack, which is 7.2 volt, 5000 milliamp hour in place. I just got it to the side because I can't be bothered to put it in the car for now, and also because of the length of this one won't actually fit inside with the lid closed, so typically I have to use this one instead because of how much shorter it is. But yeah, so with that being said, so the radio gear actually didn't come with a bind plug, sorry, so I shouldn't have to do any binding or whatever, so I'm just going to turn the car on. So we've got the receiver light flashing, and turn it on. And there we have it, so no need for binding. So, steering's good. Oh. Yeah, I've just got it resting on a box of gloves as like a cradle, but... Oh, hang on. So forwards, brake. So that works. So. Okay, yep, that's good. So I'll just get the body screwed back on. Won't do it in the video because of how much longer of a watch this will be. But there is a couple of bits I do want to go over about the transmitter. Right, so before I do anything else, there are a couple of things I do want to go over with the transmitter. So just turn it back on. Now, I'll just zoom a little bit so you can just see the screen a lot better and tap to focus right there. So, steering trims at the top here. So, which indicates which leans more to the left and it's more to the right. Probably, hey, I'll turn the light off so you can, that should do the trick. Actually shines up pretty brightly. Yeah, I think that will have to do. Actually you can't really see where my fingers are on the control, so that's probably not a good idea. But, yeah, so we've also got the select button here, and go through the... It doesn't actually say in the manual what does what, apart from one thing that I am familiar with. So, reverse steering, and you just press either the positive and the negative button to turn that off, so I'll just leave that off for now. EPA steering, and we've got ABS throttle. Now, this one I have heard about, so what this enables to do, this is an automatic braking system, that if if it feels like the car is going too fast around a corner, for example, it can just slow the speed controller down, and yeah, you kind of got the gist of it there. So I did try it earlier with the car off the ground, but it didn't seem to do anything. I think it needs to have the car actually moving and on the ground in order for it to work, so I have actually just left that off for now, but I will be definitely giving that a try later. We've also got, I believe that's expert steering, trim settings, but that could just be easily accessible with the trimming controls on the top there. EBC, I'm not 100%. So it's quite an advanced transmitter, and it had a lot more on it than I was expecting. And considering I paid less than £30 for it, I'm so far pretty impressed with it. But next plan is I'll be giving this a test with the transmitter when it's a lot drier outside, and I won't be doing that because I swore I really need a GoPro head mount for when doing these kinds of videos. So I should be able to get one within the next few days, so I will cut to then. Oh god, I completely forgot something. I forgot to clip the microphone back on before filming that part of the video, so I don't exactly know how the audio is going to play out then, but I will play back to that, and hopefully it's not too bad. So roll on to a couple of weeks later, well, maybe just over a week actually. I lost track of when I last filmed that bit, but finally have a GoPro head mount, and hence the change of shirt as well, with it being a week ago. But basically, got the transmitter at the ready, got the Rising Fighter down there, ready for testing, to test the range of this bloody thing. But things didn't go according to plan, because I wanted to come here at a time when I thought everybody would have been home by now, but there's a few people still about, and there's a couple of dogs out there, unfortunately. So, don't exactly know how this test is going to go down. Hopefully not too hectic, because the plan was to just drive it around all over the place, to drive it down there just to test the range of the transmitter and the receiver in between. But I honestly don't know how this is going to play, so I'm going to switch to the GoPro, which I don't know how that is going to go down, because hopefully the Rising Fighter will not look like a blue little speck, even though I have changed it from white to linear. But hey ho, let's just give this a shot. Right, one thing I actually forgot to do was show off the fail-safing. So it turns out you don't really need to set it, it's pretty much already set for you, so I'll just drive it probably here for now and just go at full speed so just demonstrate the fail-safe. Now I've got to be a little bit cautious, because the last time I drove this, the antenna fell off. But just give it a drive and then switch it off. and that's the failsafe. So that works. Just drive it around just for a little bit, just to make sure that the antenna does stay on. Oh dear. So would have thought the grass would have been cut, but it's going to be a bit of a problem. I just want to see how far I can get it and avoid... And actually, to be fair, I do not know how much charge I've actually got in the battery, so is the antenna still on? Yes, it is. But overall, it drives really nicely. And I actually haven't driven the Rising Fighter properly out like this. I've only driven it around the neighbourhood just for a little bit. I might have to do a range test. Uh-oh. Stop, dog. I knew this was going to be a bad idea. So, last time... Well, no marks left on the tyres, so that's good. Might have to cut that just there for a little bit. Right, so the dogs are all over the place, so I'm going to drive it as far as the end I can probably get it, and then just turn it back round before... Uh-oh. Controls went a bit funny there. I'll just double check. I'll try it down that area there, but still drives nicely and still got... I imagine I'm not going to be doing that long distance, and oh god. See if I can just get it down. See, there's a little community hall there. I'll just see if I can get it down to that end. Considering that the antenna is actually underneath the bodywork, control from that distance. How bad is it going to be? Oh god. So now we're at that point of distance where I can't actually hear anything from the car. Can't hear the motor going, can't hear the servo, nothing. That's actually quite a distance. But yeah, I think that's about as far as I'm gonna get, so I'm probably just gonna bring the car around, because I think you kind of get the gist of it. Now, is the antenna still on there? Yes, it is. It hasn't fallen off. And... oh, good God. Right. So I would have thought they would have cut the grass by now, the council. Are we going to drain? One thing I just want to try out to do, because I did it with a Tamiya, that friend letter. Yeah, I think the battery might not have as much charge in it as I thought it would. So, yep, I think you get the idea with that. So, cut to the garage. Okay, so what I had feared would happen has happened. The antenna is gone, and I have no idea where it lost it. I didn't see where it fell over. Not that much of a biggie. I'll probably just order some spares, but for the next one I do put on this, I'm probably just going to end up, you know, hot gluing it in place. I pushed down on it quite good, and I'm surprised it came off after running off. I would have thought it would have come off as soon as I started running it here. Anyway, do I bother looking for it? I have no idea where it's gone, but let's just actually cut the garage. So I did spend a few minutes running around the area I was driving in looking for the antenna, but looks like it's going to be long gone. But thankfully they're not that expensive to buy. I can get a set of 5 for about £2.45, and they also come in blue, so I'm probably going to get a blue one put on this because it colour coordinates a lot better. But anyway, going back to the Tamiya Racing P32 transmitter, there is one issue I did find when I was adjusting the trims. For example, I'll just bring it close to the camera so you can see it a bit better. That should be fine, yeah. So I was pressing that to trim right and that to trim left, and it actually has been doing that as well. Now, the servo reversing is the right way round on the first channel, but the trouble is, these seem to be inverted because my instinct was to press that one on the right to trim right and that one left, but it turns out it's the other way round. So that's not really a major thing for me. It's only a little bit of a minor inconvenience, since I don't really adjust the trims because I get the servo placement right when building these things. But other than that, I actually really love this transmitter. I was a bit doubtful in terms of the size of it, because when I saw the specifications, I was worried it was going to be a bit too small to hold. But actually, the size of it is actually really nice and compact, and it's very, very nice to hold. And in fact, I think this might be my favourite ever pistol grip transmitter, just because of the size of it, and the fact that it's just incredibly nice to hold. And I much prefer this, holding this, for example, I don't know if I've got a pistol grip in the garage somewhere. No, they're all up in the, on the second floor somewhere. But it's been very weird to hold the other... Come here. Come here. This is the third time this has happened. What do you want? Did you want something?
No.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say to everybody?
I apologise for interrupting Harry while he's doing his video. I should go and peel my potatoes for my tea.
And this is the third time you've done it now.
I know, apologies. Well, you should put a sign on the door saying, "Don't come in because I'm busy."
But you do realise that you could hear me speaking.
Yeah, I could. I apologise. Truly apologise. I should go now.
Well, you don't be sorry to me. You should be them. You're sorry to
I apologise for interrupting this very important video blog.
You can go and peel your potatoes now.
Thank you. Well, they're there. Don't worry, but I'll get them in a minute.
I've completely forgotten what I was supposed to say now. Anyway, as I was saying, it's been a bit weird holding my other pistol grip transmitters as opposed to this, because of just they just feel so much bigger now, and the size of this, like I just keep saying, I love how it is to hold, and also the fact that it takes AAAs and not AA's, and also this is a nice touch I really think is great. I've kind of lost track of the whole thing. I've kind of gone off the rails in terms of what I was going to try and say, at least, but that's really all I have to say about this, and I actually cannot recommend this transmitter enough. They're very cheap to buy from AliExpress. They tend to cost, you know, like something like £25 or $35, depending on where you are in the world. So yeah, this is definitely a transmitter I would happily recommend to anyone, and I'm very probably likely going to get more of these, because there is a lighter shade of blue that this does come in that I want to get for a Tamiya Neo Scorcher that I might be getting in the future. I'm not 100% on that because of other stuff I want to prioritise, but depending on what I might get, I'm likely just going to buy more of these for them. So that was the Tamiya Racing P32 4-channel transmitter, and let's bring the end to this video. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in whatever I get up to next.